Let's talk about non-immigrant status approval notices. Now, it seems like a small issue, but I think it's very important for you to understand how the green approval notice for non-immigrant cases, and this means H-1B, H-4, O-1, J, for those types of cases, what the green approval notice does and what the green approval notice does not do. So for example, let's say you are physically in the United States and your company decides that they would like to extend your stay. They need to file an I-129 petition. Let's pretend H-1B. So they're going to file the I-129 petition, H-1B, extension of stay. And when the case is approved, you will receive a green approval notice. It says Notice of Action I-797. And on this Notice of Action, the bottom of the notice tells you a lot of information, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I had to cover up my client's information. Yep, did pretty good on that. And so for this notice, the client is actually not in the United States. The client is abroad in another country. So since he is in another country, the Immigration Service did not put an I-94 card on the bottom of this approval notice. If you're in the United States and if your extension of stay is approved, when you get this green approval notice, this will have an I-94 card with all of your information at the bottom of the notice. If the extension of stay is not approved, or if you already know that you're going to do consular processing, then what is important about this notice is that the approval itself. So this says approval notice, class is H-1B, and it tells where the consulate will be. Now, the next thing, if you get one of those approval notices that has the I-94 at the bottom, review it very carefully. Make sure the information at the bottom of the notice matches the dates of approval, validity dates at the top of the notice. Make sure your name is spelled correctly, date of birth is correct, company name is correct. Make sure all that information is correct. And the I-94 at the bottom functions as an extension of your stay in the United States. So let's say you came to the U.S., you got an extension of stay, and your first I-94 that's issued by CBP, it's online, it's going to be a white document, it is expired. However, if you have one of these and it extends your stay, you don't need to leave the United States. This functions as your ability to stay here. Now, here's what it doesn't do. It is not a visa. The Immigration Service is an agency of the Department of Homeland Security. It does not put visas in passports. So the next time that you need to travel, this approval notice is only half of what you need to come back into the United States. You also are going to have to go to an embassy abroad. You're going to have to apply for a new visa, if that's what you need in your passport, to be able to re-enter the United States. So be aware that when you get an extension of stay in the U.S., that is not the same thing as getting a new visa in your passport. The visas in passports are taken care of by the Department of State. They run the embassies. The USCIS is not in charge of the embassies. So you're going to take this green approval notice. Once again, as you can see, it's very important. You're going to take this notice, you're going to present it to the embassy with all of your required documents, and hopefully your visa will be issued so that you can re-enter the United States. The last thing that I want to tell you is something that I tell my clients, and it's your choice if you want to follow this or not. But I tell my clients, do not cut this section of your approval notice. It says, please tear it off and forward it to the alien worker. No, I tell my employers, I tell my clients, my beneficiaries, don't tear it apart, don't separate this notice, give the original green notice, the whole thing, to the beneficiary. They're going to need this to go to the embassy. The employer does not need this original green notice. A copy will suffice. So my advice to my clients is you never tear this apart. You never pull out the I-94 at the bottom and staple that in your passport. You just fold up the whole thing and you keep your approval notice intact. That's my recommendation. Definitely, it does say right there to tear it off, but I don't think that that's very helpful advice from immigration. So that's it regarding the I-797 green approval notices, and I hope you understand now what it does and what it does not do for your immigration status. As usual, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and also click the bell so that you're going to get more videos when I upload them. Have a great day.